Genesis 24 verse 1. And the Bible says, and Abraham was old and well stricken in age. And the Lord had blessed Abraham what? In what? Okay, follow me. And when you proceed downwards, Bible shows us that Abraham had a servant called Eliezer. And Abraham was about to take a major step in the life of his son. And Abraham called Eliezer, a man he trusted, a man he believed in, and said, Eliezer, it's about time for my son to have a wife. I am entrusting this in your care. That in itself is another message. Every truly great man needs trusted people. But the challenge we have, even in church, when people come around greatness, they start having material expectations. Every great man, every truly great man, needs trusted people. Listen, let me say this to you now. It is not every relationship that will give you monetary benefits. Am I making sense now? So when you come around great people, stop scheming. Focus on service. There's a reward for serving. This man had become blessed in all things. I will show you later that even Eliezer was already commanding wealth just by faithfulness in service. When you come around great, please, I beg you, so many people have ruined relationship because of polluted focus. Polluted. As soon as they come around, when they can perceive that this woman, this man has something, they begin to scheme. And the moment they can find out or discern that this relationship will not bring money, they walk out. It is not, I can't say that enough. It is not every relationship that God has ordained to give you material possession. There are some, they are trainings. There are some is for direction. There are some is God wants to preserve you for a season. So he keeps you busy around certain people. And Eliezer trusted. Take me to verse 10. Let's work this now. Take me to verse 10. And Eliezer, the servant, look at this now. What the Bible tell you? And the servant took what? Does that look like someone that is poor? Huh? Follow me now. And the servant took 10 camels, I'm going somewhere, of his master, and departed. For all the goods of his master were in his hand. Were in his hand. This was not what he went after when he started serving. But by service, he earned this position. When you focus on the wrong things, you may never end up with any. But when you focus on service, the right things will come to you. This man, perhaps, his focus when he started serving was not anything material. Just loving the master and serving him. At the end of the day, just like Joseph, everything the master had was in his hands. And look at this now. Follow me now. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. Let me deviate a bit. About how your heart for diligent service, your refusal to allow your focus to be polluted, how it can secure your future even more than your prayers. Once upon a time, popular story you must have heard about. Once upon a time, a great man had a servant who had worked with him for several years. And it was clear that in the next couple of months or year, the servant was going to retire. Okay? And the master was about to travel to somewhere very far. So he called the servant and said, okay, you will soon retire. Let me give you a last assignment. So do something major before you leave. And the master gave him money and said, please build me a house. And the servant, already scheming, that in the next couple of months, I will leave this man. This opportunity to be rich. So the servant started buying some cheap materials, inferior materials. And in the next couple of months, the servant built a house. The house looked beautiful. Deception. Looked beautiful. But it was a house that was guaranteed to come under, to go down in the next couple of months. It was clear. The materials were cheap. The cement and everything that was used was so tiny. So it was bound that when wind blows, this house will drop. And he was waiting for the master. He had already gotten some change. Listen, let me say this to you. But as an employee, you can never be richer than who you steal from. Do you understand? You can never be richer than anybody you steal from. Never. You have put a limitation on your lifting. When you steal from the office, you are taking back door, adding figure, and you cannot be big like that. And see what happened now. And when the master came, the master said, "Where is the house you built for me?" And he showed the master, said, "Your house is here. I've done everything." The master said, "My servant, you've been very faithful to me. This house is for you. I needed to give you something to tell you thank you for your years of service." No, tell me, how can that man stay inside that house? So he didn't know whether to say thank you or to start crying. But between him and God, they knew what was wrong. That is what a heart of insincere service can do. So when you think you are trying to help yourself, you are hurting yourself. Eliezer is a testimony of what diligence in service can be. Be committed to the joy of others. But he's not the main person I'm talking about here. Let's move on. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and the part of all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. Can you give me verse 11, please? And he made his camels to kneel down without the city, by a well of water at the evening time, even the time, take note, when women go out to draw water. Verse 12. And he said, "God of my master, I don't want to pick a wrong wife. I don't want to make blunders." He said, "God of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day. Show thy kindness unto my master Abraham." Give me verse 13. He said, "Behold, I stand here by the water, by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water." Verse 14, please. Listen now. "And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camel drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master." Verse 15. And it came to pass, before he had finished speaking. This is where the story starts. That behold, Rebekah came out, who was born of Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon where? Give me the next one, verse 16. Are we following? "And the damsel was fair to look on." She was beautiful. She was fair to look on. She was what? You will see now that beauty is not enough. It was not beauty that will give her husband. The servant never said, "Let the woman who, the first that come that carries beauty." So you can be beautiful and still remain single. Look at. "And the damsel was very fair to look on." What's the next one? Her virginity was not enough to get husband. Please, let me touch this now. There are people who are virgins, morally right, but bad character. So you can